Hello, beautiful humans. So I have been back and forth on what to do for my first episode, and then I said, fuck it, today. A few things have come to me in the last 24 hours since I recorded and published my trailer, and really born out of, I don't know who will relate to this, but maybe, just maybe, growing up in the 80s, being an 80s baby, is our superpower. We were the bridge between the boomers and the millennials, and there's all this back and forth. So on my journey, since the loss of my son Curtis in June 2021, I have been looking and looking and looking for answers, like everywhere. I just keep looking for someone else, something else to tell me I'm okay. And that's where I fell into the rabbit hole of greater awareness and consciousness and practicing the pause, the art of contemplation, meditation. And believe me, I've been on a spiritual journey my entire life. If I look back, I was absolutely fascinated with religion, but could never find a fit. I always felt like I didn't fit in a certain place or space. I was baptized Catholic. My mom was raised Catholic. She did not practice Catholicism while we were growing up. My brother and sister had a very different experience. I would go on to join youth groups and Bible camps and just forever seeking something. So last night, while I was finishing up my binge watching of all things, a series called Quantico. So of course it's FBI and it's training and it's espionage and it's spies and all of that. The very last episode, or one of the last episodes in the series, the main character Alex and her mom are in the kitchen, and Alex is really up against this whole who am I? And her mom, her response was, you are the sum parts of all of your decisions, trying so hard not to be defined, not to define yourself by your last bad decision. And I went, wow, that really felt like higher consciousness defined so simplistically. We are all humans having our own human journey and walking each other home in the best way we possibly can. And it's really our minds that play the trick, that keep us needing to define things, give value to things, explain things, define things, puts words to things, when at the end of the day, maybe it's just a rabbit hole. It's our own ego, our own egoic mind that is dictating the same. We need to stay the same. Change is scary. Growing is scary. The unknown is scary. I mean, for goodness sake, it's 2024. We aren't living in caves surrounded by ferocious beasts. However, the most ferocious beasts appear on our news nightly, in our social media feeds, in arguments about things that really, I think it's safe to say, I mean, I'm an average human being trying to do the best in this life that I have, whether you believe you chose it or not. And there's lots of information out there around the topic. That really is what sent me into this really deep dive. The last 3 years was, of course, after the loss of a child. As a parent, I needed purpose. I needed to know I was okay. I needed to come to terms with having done my best for my son in the best way I knew possible. So a lot of that had to come from not retelling the past. I needed to come to terms with a past I couldn't change. Was I the best mom all of the time? Absolutely not. But I needed to go back to that embellished past and see it through my eyes, and understand that everybody's perspective in those moments has value. That was their truth. There's a reason why I know in my family, we get together, my dad, my brother, my sister, we all get together and we start talking about reminiscing about the past. And I imagine this is the same for my own kids. I've got 4 boys and now, 3 boys and an angel now as of June 2021. And I imagine when they get together, and I watch it happen at Christmas time, they start reminiscing about things. And everybody remembers things differently. Even though all parties were in the same experience, they got from the experience their own truth. And of course, my brain goes, wow, right? Bigger picture. That's what the world is. The world is all having these experiences, but taking from it their own understanding of that truth. And so rather than this argument and trying to force people to see things the way I see things, I am finding that layer of my onion is falling away. Because the more I understand how my perception veils my experiences, lo and behold, I have to appreciate that anyone I'm in interaction with has that experience as well. Their own veil, their own past that I have to respect, right? So, in an effort to share my experience, my journey, my adventures in flipping my own script, that really, I believe, is what inspired me to vulnerably go online, and not from a place where I want to tell stories about the past and have people pity me or have their own emotional experiences. What I want is to grow a new me and have an impact on others in a way that they take what they can and can't from my information. So hopefully, if you find this, you like this video, you subscribe. I'm brand new, it's not polished. It is just simply raw, real. And if you need a place to be seen raw and real, please comment. I would love the opportunity to open up conversations about other people's experiences. I love other people's stories. So coming back to that 80s baby, our superpower, we had such a diverse experience with music. And I look back at my playlist, right? Well, now it's a playlist. Back then, I remember I had a collection. I lost it in my divorce, but Curtis picked up my box of cassette tapes from the 80s. And I remember him, I think there was like 300 to 400 cassette tapes in that box. And it's not that I lost it in the divorce. When my first marriage dissolved, I do remember it being in a box down in the laundry room, down storage. And so just over the years, of course, that wasn't important enough for me to go back for. So Curtis did, in the 2 or 3 years before his passing, had found my music. That's how Curtis and I connected. We loved music. I loved talking to him about, like, he just had this profound wanting to know things. And I don't know if it's a philosopher's stone, if it's a philosopher gene, because, gosh, we could have conversations about things that had no answers. And it just was a deep dive, a soul dive every time we chatted. And that takes me back to one of the very first concerts I ever went to. And I can remember it was at the Frank Sissons in Calgary, Alberta. And this really small, it was a casino, bowling alley, growing up in Calgary. It was kind of a neat place to see concerts, really small. And my very first concert, I remember going with a girlfriend. It was my grade 10 year in high school. And we went and saw Edie Brickell and New Bohemians. Now, lover, hater, I know that is what it is. You can have your opinion. I have my opinion. But I think she really drove in me that wondering about things that ultimately don't have answers for. They don't have answers. Perspectives, right? Everybody's got their own perspective, and there is no end to that, right? It just evolves every experience. So, of course, I remember the very first release of the album Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars was What I Am, her song What I Am. And the lyrics, oh my goodness, right? Like there was no, it wasn't a story told from start to finish, right? It was this just profound contemplation on life. What I am is what I am, is what you are, right? Like this whole, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it still make a sound, right? And I just loved her music. I do actually own on my playlist, it's downloaded, both of her albums, both of their albums. And I just, the 80s superpower was that we have this eccentricity to look at things and not necessarily make them stick, to have this profound ability to allow ourselves to see the differences in everyone else. And I really think key in moving forward in this next presentation of the future, whether you are spiritually, metaphysically, or physically attuned to all of the things that are happening in the world right now, I really do believe, however it's defined, changes are happening. Change is coming. Things cannot continue to work the way they used to work because it's not the same. And so I look forward to not having the answers, to having conversations, to growing a group of people who are open-minded and community-oriented and come from a place of integrity, who really are willing to get uncomfortable with their discomfort and learn how to explore their own journey, their own response, their own reactions, their own triggers, through sharing of my own experience. And again, no answers. tons of questions. There is no right or wrong. So if you're looking for right and wrong and black and white, this probably is not going to be a fit for you. If you are open to opening your mind to all possibilities, then I welcome you and invite you again to like this video, like and subscribe, and let's see where this journey takes us. Mwah. Blessings, everyone. Thank you.